What's up, people? I'm Chris Chapman.
I'm Shawnee Dunbar.
And you are rocking with the Underdog. What's good with you, Mama? What you do today?
I'm good. Happy Friday. This is a Friday.
This is a Friday?
So it's a Thursday.
A Thursday, but you know what's good is we're not faking to like it be another day. You know what I'm saying? Like my boy was like, "Yo, your Thanksgiving," because he critiques me so much. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, "Yo, I saw what you did on that Thanksgiving." I said, "How could it be Thanksgiving?" And he talking about Sunday football. I see, yo.
Gotcha.
It's like, come on, dude. But you know what? I love it. I love him for it because you know he pushes me in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? He makes sure that you know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it makes sense. It gotta make sense.
Yeah, it gotta make sense. So what we're doing now, we got a sponsor. We got a sponsor.
Oh yeah.
We got a sponsor. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have some prizes.
Yes.
We're gonna have some prizes for our 100th subscriber.
Yep.
Our 200th subscriber.
Yep.
And our 500 subscriber.
Ooh.
So let's show some of the potential gifts you might receive.
Honestly,
well,
kind of a big deal for 100.
Yeah. So this is our Batman hat. It's brand new,
exclusive,
and you have a potential to get this if you're 100th subscriber.
Yes, subscribe, my nizzle.
Yeah, we have this Superman.
Where that came from? That looks really cool too. Look, you see his face?
Yeah, he's ready. He says, subscribe. We have this Cobra Commander.
Ooh.
And then we have the exclusive. Now, this might have to wait until the 500th subscriber.
That one's 500 worthy. Look.
Yeah, the Thundercats.
Oh.
Now, you can't tell me that you have this in your closet because you do not.
No, that is a straight collector's item.
So shout out to the Layer for giving us these hats, out of the Bronx. I can't I'm so happy that they gave us some stuff. So, we're just gonna pass it on to the people. So tonight we are spotlighting the Black business.
Yes, the Black-owned businesses.
Yeah, because during this whole COVID thing, we had to kind of push and do things a little bit differently than we normally have been doing. And since this whole craziness with the world, our people have finally woke up and wanting to really start to push the Black business. So
as they should, and we are thriving in this pandemic, and I think it's really commendable. So anyone who's out there, starting, living their dream, thinking about starting, do it now.
And pay attention to these up and coming episodes, because we're going to showcase some people that have started their business, and we're going to talk about the trials and tribulations of starting a business, and the lucrative part of the business once you get the business up and running. Yeah,
you want to know the story, not just the glory.
Exactly. You don't want to see oh, I've been vacationing and I have this business, but you don't show that this guy is getting up at 4:30 in the morning to go get chicken, and he's cleaning, and he's prepping the food, and all this other stuff. So we want to showcase what happens behind the scenes also of the Black business.
Yes, families working together, starting your LLC.
Exactly. And actually, this is the time, like you said, this is the time to really like put your foot forward.
Yeah.
To get stuff done, because even in this pandemic that we're going through, people still are spending money.
Yeah.
And don't think that people are not spending money. You know what I'm saying? They just not spending money the traditional way like they normally would have with the like the Black Fridays or the Cyber Mondays. We're not spending the money there. Let's spend the money with the black businesses.
Yeah.
So we are tonight. We are happy to have Mr. Kevin Lawrence in the building.
Yeah.
Shawnee, bring my man Kevin Lawrence in the building.
Let's go. Hi, Kev.
Hello. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're groovy, baby.
All right.
What's going on with you, brother?
I'm doing very well. I'm easy like Sunday morning. I'm just happy to be here.
Okay, so the Underdog, we are spotlighting the black business. Wow. We're happy to have you on. But what we want to do is we want to go back a little bit on your history. We want to go back a little bit on how you got in the game, how you started, and some of your endeavors that you did before we get to your business that you're into now. So let's start a little bit before. I don't want to go high school Kevin Lawrence. So let's maybe go
right after high school.
Right after high school, Kevin Lawrence. College, Kevin Lawrence. Chasing that pretty girl, Kevin Lawrence.
You're trying to get me in trouble, Sade. You see what I'm saying, Sade?
Well, listen. We all have chased that girl, except for Shawnee. We've all chased that girl coming out of high school or going into college. No, I'm not excluding you. I'm saying you don't chase women.
Well, I've been chased. How about that?
As you get older as a man, we start saying,
Listen, and fellas,
hey, king is here.
I'm in them DMs.
Where's the queen?
I'll be reading what y'all be saying too. So watch yourself.
Hey, Shantae, he got me on that one. He got me. The DMs and everything else is different. Regular people is different, but the DMs, yeah.
So let's start around college.
All right. Well, I think you mentioned at the high school, I went away I was in the military. I was in the Navy, so I was stationed here in Norfolk, Virginia, but I was many times out overseas, different countries, and just on tour with the aircraft carrier I was on. I had a love for music, and the jobs I was doing in the military, when you wondered if you're going to make it home, I had OGs around me that said, listen, you could do something for the rest of your life that you don't like, or you could do something that for the rest of life you do like, as long as you work to it. So they said, try to get into it if you feel like you want to be an executive. And that's what I was going for. So I came home in 2000. And for people, when I say I came home from the military. Usually when you hear that term, it's like, how long you did in prison? No, I didn't go to prison. For the people out there, Shantae, talk about when people be hearing that term, I came home, So I did that. I came home and I got into Def Jam. I worked I always worked jobs. I always wanted to work. So in addition to me working, I got a position at Def Jam under Hector Aviles, aka Rick Boogie, in the A&R administrative department as his assistant. And from there, I also hooked up with Lisa Brunson in the A&R department, worked with her for a little bit. And I learned from them and others as well there a lot, as a intern / assistant as well. And from there, I just said, I wanted to get something else. And I told my uncle, Ralph McDaniels, shout out to the Video Music Box, so I got to wear the hat. And I said that, I think I want to try out for television. And he was like, yeah, whatever. Because sometimes people say a lot of things, but they really don't mean it. And I did mean it. And I also, I said, how's a way to show him that I'm serious? I knew that he liked coffee. I knew what kind of coffee he liked. And I realized that he used to carry his own bags. So what I did was I carried his bag for him and I got his coffee for him. And I am a proud person to say that. Some people don't want to say things like that because they feel like it's beneath them, or you make me feel like I'm a chump, but no, I find out what you need or what you like and or what you have to do, and I do it for you.
Okay, people. Now you see where being proactive gets you.
Yes, correct. That is me being proactive. That's where it got me. And from there, I'm still Video Music Box. I'm also the host, co-host for it. And if you don't see me hosting, I'm usually holding the camera. I'm doing other things for it. And I've been doing radio with my radio partner C Truth for about 16 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us how Thermal Soundwaves got started.
Thermal Soundwaves Radio got started before me. My radio partner C Truth, he's been doing radio for about 20 plus years. He started out at Hunter College, and in the mix of me working in entertainment business and having a job, I still went to school. I went to BMCC, shout out to everybody in BMCC, Borough Manhattan Community College in New York, Manhattan. I went there, I got my associates from there. And even with that, I still had a job too. I was also working in a hospital at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Hospital. So I'm doing all these things. And, when you're trying to have a steady girlfriend, sometimes they tell you, well, you ain't got no time for me. You're always busy. And I'm like, but I'm trying to build things to make my later life easier for us as a whole. So some ladies didn't get it, but shout out to the ones that got it later on, and they,
I had one of those too. They don't get it. They just feel that you out, messing around, but you're really, out there working and trying to do something a little bit different. But
and I can understand that. I can understand because when you out 2-3 in the morning compared to a conventional relationship, it's kind of crazy. You might hear somebody in the background, but until you're in it, and I know a lot of women that go through that as well with their significant other. When you're in it, it's like you understand, and later on, a lot of ladies understood, and we're actually great friends now. I never have any problems, never no key card or none of that stuff.
That's good.
And it's also good to understand that, like, when people have these visions, and even if you say something like that, like, I'm building for later, no one really sees your vision. You don't know the other person, like, how passionate they are until you start seeing something happen, right? Because like you said, you told your uncle, like, yeah, I think I want to do this, and he's like, yeah, okay. But it wasn't until you were consistent and, like, actually getting into it that people start to respect what you do. Like, oh, okay, they're serious.
Yeah, once people started seeing me on television, it was like, yo, you in that little show? They'll say the little.
There's always little in the beginning.
Yeah, little, and it's like, I don't take offense to things like that.
Right.
I just keep pushing. But with the radio, I came by the station one time and I saw my radio partner there, and he was just doing everything by himself, manning the boards, doing the music, getting the gas, doing the computer. I was like, you know what, I'll help you out. And from there, it's been about 15 years later, and we've had so many people on the show from around the world. We deal with global radio before we was even doing stuff like this. So I remember people I ain't gonna mention their names, but people at bigger radio networks, they would tell us, like, y'all are killing us. And they would actually come to our station. At first it was at WHCR, 98.3 FM. They would come there and they would sit in. I can't say the names, but they would say, yo, don't tell my program director because we'll get fired because we don't have any freedom, because we would play a lot of music that we actually like, because it's bigger than just the top 10 of repetitive things they keep giving you, on the commercial. So from there we grew. We moved on, and then we was on Track Life Network, which we still are they're located in California. Shout out to Track Life Network. We're also on WLGK in Chicago, and we're on Power 104.9 in Indiana. And we're just growing, and it's nonstop.
That's dope.
And obviously, you know what else I do, guys? I do the food cart business.
Yeah, so that's the meat and potatoes of the interview here. We want to talk about what pushed you in a direction, and what were your choices. No, well, first let's start. What is the name of your business?
The name of the business is the Jerk Chicken Spot.
Okay.
Yum.
So out of everything that you could possibly have tried to cook or what have you, what made you do jerk chicken?
Well, I love the food. That's number one. Number two, which is funny, I did not care to get into that business at all. Sometimes it still racks my brain. I just said, instead of buying a big car or buying bottles in the club, how about I go ahead and invest into a business? And, I didn't, people say, you could have put down for a house. I'm already in one, but you could put down for a house and rent it out. But if anybody knows, in New York, rent is very high, and not everybody has the rent, especially with what's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem. So I noticed that a couple of family members had restaurants. Family members of mine had restaurants, and I would always wonder. Like, one time, I went out with my friends, and we went to a club, and they was like, "Let's go get some halal food." I was like, "Halal food? So what's that?" And he was like, "No, it's on 52nd Street." And that's the main one everybody knows about, on 52nd Street and 6th Avenue in Manhattan. And I went there, and overheard people making fun of the servers because the way they was dressed and maybe how they smelled or whatever. And not trying to disparage them or diss them, but I don't drink alcohol, so everybody else is inebriated, disrespecting people. So I'm just looking back and like, wait a minute, they're selling a plate of whatever it is. And I looked down the line, and the line was a block long. And I said to myself, like, wait. Y'all making fun of them because they wear their dress. But when I fly out of Kennedy Airport and I'm over there by Lefferts and Queens, those are big houses. That's all they houses. So who's really the fool? And I was like, you know what? Let me try to get into this business. And it was extremely hard because it is a 95% monopoly. And that's pretty much almost an absolute monopoly that they have. And people didn't want to talk to me. It was like,
So tell us.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So it started as a cart, right?
Say again?
You said it was a food cart.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you pick the location where you wanted it to be, like, set up? How did you pick the street? Did you go by, like, what club was over there? Or, like, how did you
Well, I'm parked by Bronx Community College, which is on University Avenue, 2155 University Avenue in the Bronx, New York. And I knew that I wanted to be parked near either a hospital or a extremely busy transportation section like Columbus Circle in Manhattan, New York, or a college, schools. And I did my homework. I scoped out the place. All this while I'm thinking about doing this, I also went back to college again, and I got my other degree from Monroe College. So I was a little busy. And I said I'm going to do it, and I spoke to some people, and most of the people I spoke to didn't want me to do it. They thought it was stupid, But I wrote it down instead of just using like how I feel. How you feel is great also, but I wrote it down on paper so I could see pros and cons and understand the risk. Because every business, everything you do like that is going to be a risk. But I'm fine with risk. I'll always bounce back no matter what. And I did it.
So what were some of your obstacles that you ran into when you first started?
Not knowing anything about the business. And it's not because I just jumped in it because I just felt like I know everything. People don't want to talk to you. That's not a business where you could go and study in school or get on-job training. It is what it is. I don't want to sound like the person's using this as an excuse, because sometimes people like to say, "Oh, that's an excuse," but it is what it is. When you are a Black man, it's what it is. When you're a Black man getting into that business, they don't want you knowing about it. And I'm not trying to say that once again to use excuse or diss anybody, but
it's not an excuse if it's if it's your truth. It's not an excuse.
Right. When people see me in the food court, they will look at me and be like, "Why is a black man in there?" And I get that vibe, and I laugh. So, because I know I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. And then they come back like, what is this? And then I explain to them what it is, even though on my cart says the jerk chicken spot with a big chicken with dreads holding the chicken, But it's not for the people that can't take some stuff from other people. Like I stuff rolls off my shoulders. So, and after a while, next thing you know, they're like some of my best customers. They tell me about their life. I help them out with life situations, and they ask me, "How did you do it?" And I have no problem explaining it to people how I did it and how the steps to take to get one, because I'm my own competition. I
like that. So how did you come up with your logo?
I slept on it. I slept on it. I didn't know what to do. And then I went back to see some of my family in Jamaica, and we was in the mountains. I have a lot of family in the mountains, like St. Mary, all the way up top in the hills. And one of my family members, he was just cooking, and his name was Jersey. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know what side of my family he's on. That's how big the family is. Like, you one of us. I don't know who you is, cousin, your family, whatever, but you somebody. And the way he was cooking food, and he turned, and his dreads just kept swinging. And I was like, oh, that's it. And I was like, how can I make it fun, invitive, but not overpowering with my logo and everything? So I took a long time to get it proper. Mm-hmm. And also with, my slogan, peace and blessings.
Okay. So can you tell the people a little bit about how your preparation and your day-to-day activities as far as going to get the food, the prep work, the cooking, all the stuff that goes along with trying to be open by what time you open?
I open at 12.
About by 12. So 12. All the things that you have to do beforehand, before you even get to open at 12.
Well, yeah, at any given time, I'm probably seasoning about 200 pounds of chicken. And it might not seem like a lot to people, but it's not just you just throw a little season on it. No, you really have to season chicken. Like, and you see people really getting their hands with it, and obviously with gloves. It's a lot. The one thing I will tell people is cooking Jamaican style food. There's a reason why many people have a problem with it, because it's a production. It takes so much seasoning to make one thing. This is why oxtail costs so much money. And you try to get oxtail, you ask for oxtail gravy, they look at you like, yo, do you know how long it took me to make this? And you want oxtail gravy for free? No oxtail gravy without oxtail. Like, it's that serious. And speaking with people, I realized that. So having to do that, having to do my rice, I have my salad, I have my beef patties, I have my veggie patties, my chicken patties, and coffee. I did not know how to make coffee before. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I had to learn how to make coffee. And in the beginning, I was giving away coffee for free because I was just messing up the batch. I felt like I was just, I got the, you got the thing, and it's not cut right. I'm not trying to be funny or make it seem like.
Well, you
gotta cut it right.
The coffee, right? You're carrying it.
You gotta cut the coffee right, and it's like that. It's like that stuff out there. It's like birds fly. It's like you gotta cut it right, and yeah. And but I learned on the go. I've been set on fire. I've had to catch my cart from rolling down the hill. I look, you're looking crazy, but you're trying to keep sane crazy. Like I remember my whole eyebrows is gone, and everything. My eyelashes was gone. I act like, hey Shantae, when girls see that picture like they're looking down, I did that for the customers so they didn't think I was really on fire. I was hurting. So I act like I dropped something. But inside I'm screaming. But I can't let them see that because if they see it's a problem, they're going to come back. So I had to hold that in. And then when I was done with operation, then I had to go to the hospital later on because I'm like, we got to do this. Man, I had to, listen, I tell people out there, everybody out there, I'm learning on the go. I try to go to every dude that got a food cart. They tell me they don't know no English. When I ask them how much for this plate, oh sir, that plate would be $8. And I'm like, I think they don't know English. People tell me, I think you're a cop. They don't want to talk to me. And I'm like, what do I got to do to learn? So I learned everything on the go.
Nice.
There you go. That's what's up.
I'm proud of it.
Start, right? It's no perfect time. Just do it. That's
and also, I had people try to jump me, other like push cart people try to jump me because this is serious out here.
Oh,
it
you
is
like spot?
It's territorial, but I'm not even in their spot. It's just that they saw me there a block up the block.
You're taking money from their cart, technically.
Because most people in New York only know about halal food from push carts.
Right.
So when you're coming with a new product into a new environment, it's going to take time for the people to break their conditioning to get used to you. However, others know that you're breaking the norm.
Yeah.
Because when you see these, not all, I want to make sure I'm not saying not all, but many of these people are not hygienic. And we see the videos. We see the videos and it's the same thing.
Yep.
So if you're coming with something new and refreshing, it makes people say, I might want to try it. And when they realized them students and them people in the neighborhood was turning their heads like, I'm going over there. Yeah, they tried to get it in, but I'm from the 200s. I'm a Wakefield boy, the Bronx. So it's a different story with me. We had an understanding. We had a real good understanding.
The good thing about your food though is really good, man. I definitely when I came by there, I had a very good experience. The rice was nice and fresh and fluffy, and it was good. And what you had, the vegetarian beef patties or something, and
yes.
And
can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
May I have a Teddy Riley moment? Yep.
I can hear you now.
All right. Yeah. So I am very honored and thankful for the position of what I've been to feed people. I've noticed something. It is what it is. I noticed something within people that have businesses, small businesses, especially people like us of a younger age. Sometimes we wear our things that we go through in environments on our face when we're talking to people. And I'm going to say it. I love y'all. However, too many of my restaurant businesses have that whole look on their face like, what do you want? And it's like, I don't do that. I realize people lack customer service, and realistically, I don't want to toot my own horn, but my food, from what I was telling people, my food is great. So I said, but I realized that if your food could be mediocre, but if you give people great customer service, they're actually buying into engaging with you more so than the food. So I would make sure I ask people a basic thing that people don't like to ask: how are you? And sometimes they catch people off guard. You're like, what'd you say? So how are you?
Because we're not used to that.
I've had people look at me thinking I said something, I want to fight them until they ask me again, and then it kind of makes them feel stupid for saying that.
Yeah.
And they be like, "Wow, I'm good. My day is going rough. I'm trying to find a job or so and so." And I'm like, you know what? I got some leads. And then it's like, yo, wow, thank you. Then I got people telling me their life stories while buying food, so we're engaging. And I noticed that from many ladies I know that work as a bartender, and they would tell me that I'm more than just a bartender. I'm a psychiatrist. I help them with their wives, help them with their husbands, I help them with their kids. Like I talk with them, and it's like that's what it is. But I really stand firm on customer service and cleanliness. On top of that,
I was just about to say, like, I was going to ask that, like, how's the customer service? Because we've been so conditioned that when you walk in a West Indian restaurant or even like some of the like Cuban spots and stuff like that, if the ladies behind the counter aren't like grilling you, you're just like, well, this food must be amazing because.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing about it too. Like I walked into some
she mean as hell.
I walked to some people and they were just mean. I remember the TV show Seinfeld, and I use that as an example. And they had the soup Nazi.
Yeah.
And he was disrespectful.
Yeah.
That soup was so great. And I said, you know what? If the soup Nazi could do that, I can with better service. And I'll drop Nazi part. But I just
So any advice for the black business owner?
Yes. A couple things I would say is to not wear that I'm a black business, you should support me on you. I run a business. I'm a black melanated man, whether you want to call me black, Moorish, Israelite, all that stuff, whatever. I don't look at you like if you don't help me, you're disrespecting me and get mad. Sometimes people might not have it. Sometimes people actually really want pizza that day.
Yeah.
And don't look at somebody walking with a pizza bag like, I hate you. Listen, I want pizza some days, you know what I mean? So it's to the point where, like I said, I let things roll off me and I'll see you when I see you. And I tell people it's not hard. It's not easy yet. It's not hard. The biggest thing is believing in yourself and having a plan. And I've had business plans. I wrote out business plans, not just a business plan like, yo, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna go buy that. No, I wrote out a business plan. I had presentations with people of my business plan. Instead of it cost me, instead of going to a bank, which is great if you can, I put up my own money. Many times we hear people like Dame Dash and others, and people, they rub people with the wrong. Sometimes for some people, their delivery may rub people a certain way. But when you own what you have, it's a different story. So I could shut down for 2 months, 6 months, a year. I own my food card. I own my permits. I own my license. And many people were shocked to know that. It's like, how could you do that? I said, I did it by, doing my research. And it took a while. It took money, but I did it. And like I said, instead of buying, the big cars with the rims and everything, which depreciates, I'd rather buy an asset that could get me 5 of those big cars, big rims. I don't want it. But as you get the drift, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And definitely. I wanted to show people of my age group, like yourselves, or kids younger, because I have a lot of elementary school kids that pass by me, that you can do your own business as well too. And it's very crazy when you become the Mr. guy, like, hey, mister. And I'm like, who are they talking to? I am.
Yeah.
I'm a young bull. You know what I'm saying, Sean? They're like, who are they talking to? What? I'm the mister. And the parents actually come to me and they say, hey, listen, my child, my son, my daughter talks to me about you. And I'm like, what happened? Because, you know, I ain't trying to be involved in no scandal. Like, I'm inside here. My food car, I can close the door and open the window. I don't know. They're like, no, you're the only one that asked my child, what did you learn today in school? And I'm very big on that. Like, what did you learn today? What do you want to be? And I'll give people leads. I'm very big on that. So I don't know if that went off of what you said, what you asked me. However, I jumped.
No,
that's the big thing. Jump.
I like that you keep in mind that, you know, Maya Angelou always says, like, people may forget what you said, people may forget what you did, but they never forget how you made them feel. And when you ask someone, how's your day? How are you doing today? For some people, it's like they carry it for so long, it is shocking. So I think that's great, especially like the kids. Like, how often are people saying, how are you to a child?
Yeah.
You know, that's huge.
That also transfers over to when people say, you know, the youth out here are shooting and selling drugs and everything, and they have crack. I'm like, did you see the crack? Yeah. You know, how you know what crack looks like? They're just out there, like, you know that your children, you made them, right? Did you try to talk to them? So I got a lot of the homies and stuff, people like that. They walk up to me like, yo, what up, homie? And I'm like, cool. Sometimes I'm like, yo, I know you might not have it today, but hey, hold something. Go ahead. And like you said, how you make people feel. It's funny how you said that because I had the police come to me and they say, hey, listen, man, it is what it is. It's in the newspaper. It's a serial slasher on the loose. And he's like, I think you know him. I'm like, I don't know him. Don't be putting me in no indictment. He's like, no, we was on the line behind him for your food. I was like, really? And he saw me one day. I didn't realize who he was, but I was, you know, hooking back up my food cart, and the guy came up with a hoodie on. And he was like, "You got any more, you know, food?" I was like, "Yeah." Can you put that jerk barbecue sauce on it? You know, your favorite, the one that you make? I was like, "I got you." And I'm like, it's funny because if he didn't feel special or cared about from me, I could have been attacked by him.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's funny, but not funny because you don't know who you're talking to and how people's days are going. Mm-hmm. So be kind to people.
Everybody, yeah.
So he spared me because I gave him extra jerk chicken. Shout out to that, man.
So give the people one more time. Give the people the name of your business, where you're located, and how they can find Mr. Kevin Lawrence.
Yes, the name of my business is the Jerk Chicken Spot. I am located at 2155 University Avenue, Bronx, New York, right in front, by the front steps of Bronx Community College. I'm there Monday through Thursday, 12 to 5:30, or unless I sell out. Now, it's me right now by myself, but what's going to happen is I'm going to hire people, so you might not see me soon like that because I plan on expanding, and I'm going to go for it and go all the way. If you can go ahead and get all these other franchises and expand, you should be able to do that with your own, or your other friends should be able to come in and say, you know what, let's expand this and have a conglomerate.
That's what's up. Well,
for all our women and men.
Your Instagram also.
And my Instagram is at Kev_Lawrence. That's at KEV_LAWRENCE at Kev_Lawrence.
And Instagram for the chicken spot.
And at the_jerk_chicken_spot. At the jerk chicken spot.
All right, brother.
You'll see the chicken on it, you know, the roster chicken, he'll be on it. And I got a TV too, so I'll be playing like old school reggae videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, all that cool stuff.
And movies and stuff. Hopefully I get you some food soon, Miss Shante.
I would love to try a veggie patty. I'm vegan, so.
That's why I got the veggie patty, because people become vegan.
Not like that.
Yeah, you have any quinoa patties?
I'll get back to you.
Well, thanks for coming by, man. Much love to you, man. Much success in your business. Yes. And thanks for dropping by the Underdog.
Yeah.
Before I go, can I say one thing?
Yes, sir.
Honestly, I want to say I'm thankful and I'm appreciative of the both of you for making this platform to speak to a person like myself. I don't consider myself, such a big person like that, but you guys made me feel that way. And it's great to have a platform that showcases people that might not rap, might not sing or twerk, to come on there and give positivity. So maybe other people could say, hey, I want to know what that lady does or what that man does. And I want to know if I can be able to learn from them or get a lead. So I appreciate you guys for believing in yourself to do this, to have a person like me on here. So I'm very, very thankful.
Thank you so much for that, man. Appreciate it, man. I'm just a firm believer in inspiration. You know what I'm saying? So, because there's so many times that I saw individuals that were doing things that inspired me to want to do something. So hopefully people will see your story and get inspired. And that's all we're trying to do is just inspire the people.
That's what we do. Me, Uncle Ralph McDaniels of the Music Box, everybody else, we believe in keep inspiring our people. And that's what we're going to do, especially with you guys on Underdog.
Yes, sir. All right, brother. Much love to you, man.
Yes. Take care, guys.
All right, now.
Bye. Bye. He's so nice.
Yep, that was a beautiful thing. So, Kevin Lawrence, thanks for coming on the Underdog.
Yes.
And so, if you have a black business, hit us up. If you want to be showcased on the Black Business Spotlight, we got you.
Yep.
Just come through, and we just trying to inspire people. So,
absolutely.
From Gris Chapman
and Shawnee Dunbar,
we want to bid you a good night.
Bye.
See you later.